Hello everyone, it's Dom from Esports News UK, back with another interview from Insomnia. This will probably be going live after Insomnia, just because I've had whirlwind, too much content, lots of things to do. I'm joined by two rising star casters, League of Legends talent from the UK, GreyHart and DocDa. So how's it going, guys? I'll start with you, DocDa. You've hosted you've cast the League of Legends BYC Open today, right? How's it gone?
It's been good. It was a good start to the games. Just went real quick, very fast 3-0, which is good for our day rate as far as not our day rate, but our hourly rate. It's like, hey, get in, get out, easiest money in my life. But it was a quality series.
It was a broadcast well, the broadcast was like 2 hours 20 minutes, but in terms of the actual play time, it was 25 minutes and 25 minutes plus drafts and that. So really, only an hour and a bit. How was it for you, GreyHart?
Oh, it's just great to be back at LAN again. Absolutely love this sort of live crowd atmosphere. Just gives you that whole sort of electricity in the air. I mean, I love casting stuff, whether it be from home or in studios, but you cannot beat a live crowd. So regardless of the fact that the final was maybe a little bit one-sided, loved every minute of it.
Yeah, that's the difference. That's the difference between us. I said, I'm breaded. It's easy in and out. So I was like, I love the LAN. I love the environment, the atmosphere.
I live for this. I just live for it.
Well, I said at the start, and I said to you before I hit record, Insomnia has been like a breeding ground for up-and-coming talent and Epic LAN. We've had people like Pansy, Machine, Insomnia in particular. I remember people like Excoundrel, Medic, or Sona as he was known back then, Desertu, all these rising stars. You've done Insomnia for a little while now. I did a stream the other week, and someone said in the chat that who was that casting at the Insomnia thing? I said, that's GreyHart. They were like, wow, he needs to be on the next level kind of thing. And, do you take that as a compliment when people say, they expect to see you in NLC or LEC, and I guess you have ambitions?
Yeah, massively. I'd love to do work like that. If anything, I think it's like there's the GreyHart buff now passing over to DocDa, because I think the last two people I was casting with these finals were Nymera, who's now having great success, and Chronicler. So Doc's your next one to look out for. Don't worry about me. But no, all jokes aside, absolutely I'd love to do things like that, but I'm always delighted to get the opportunity to work at Insomnia.
Yeah, absolutely. And you, DocDa, you've had a lot of background as well. You've done moderating. Have you done admin stuff as well and observing?
Oh yeah, no. So back in the good old days of Compete League, we were just doing everything, whatever there was to be done, because it wasn't the biggest team. And then over at the old UKLC, when it was being run by LVP, that's sort of 2 years ago. There's the posting went out a week before. It's we need observers. I was like, I know League kind of sort of turned up, learned everything on the day, and then did that for a year as well. Yeah.
That was observing, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So that's been really. So you're both experienced. You've been doing this a few years. How many years have you been working in sort of League of Legends esports?
I think it's started in 2016 or so.
Right.
So 6 years coming up. Yeah.
So around the launch of Esports News UK, we've followed your story. You helped
day one
as a volunteer at British Esports ages ago, and you cast the British Esports finals when it was at Insomnia a few years ago.
Right,
that was with Chronicler, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was really fun finals. Had a great time with that.
How did you get started, GreyHart, in this sort of world?
When I was younger, really young, I wanted to be a football commentator, and sort of forgot about that dream as time went on. Got massively into League of Legends, went to watch both what used to be EULCS and then Worlds live in London. Got to meet some of the casters, just absolutely fell in love with it, and I was like, I want to do this. Got some advice from some of the sort of the top tier guys, and they were just like, practice this, have a little go at that. So I sort of got this opportunity to mix my sort of want to be a football commentator with my love for esports. Practice for about a year in my bedroom at home, and then one day someone put me in touch with this thing called Compete League, which Doc mentioned a moment ago, and this really annoying, pretentious 18-year-old was like, go on then, we'll give you a chance. And fortunately Doc opened the door for me, and I've kept going ever since.
And shout out to Liam Slack, I think was set up Compete League. He was at the ESIC event the other day on my pub quiz team. We almost won. We'll get him next time, Liam. One thing I want to say, I've got to mention style, something I don't really have, and I've lost over the years with my hair, but amazing suit. You guys are looking really good. I think.
Yeah, well, I've lost the hair all this week. I keep getting people coming up to me going, GreyHart, like they're not. No one's loving the loss of hair, but that was by choice for me. Sorry. Hey, it's a fine choice. I think you have your own style, Tom. But no. So no, like flamboyant suits.
Yeah.
What more can I say?
Yeah, no, it's good. And yourself as well, Doc. You've worn sort of Hawaiian shirts in the past, haven't you, at events?
Yeah, because I don't know anything about fashion, so I assume if I get something like big, that at least it's like a thing and it looks intentional. But Stan's always been you get the suits, you get the bow ties coming out. Basically doing your mask cosplay every stream. You still have that?
Oh, nice. Oh, well, speaking of cosplay, well, first of all, what is this mask cosplay?
Yeah, you know the Jim Carrey movie, The Mask, one of my absolute favourites. So I went to a Comic-Con dressed as that, absolutely loved it. Still bring it out from time to time. I've even got the dog to match it now. I did not get the dog specifically to match the cosplay. It was just a happy coincidence. DM me for pics. And so basically just got really into cosplay a few years ago. That then led to League of Legends cosplay, which was part of the reason I then ended up at Worlds doing a bit of, I was Surgeon Shen, Secret Agent Xin Zhao, and that was part of the reason I was at those live events, as well as to take in the atmosphere.
Okay. I've got a theory now when it comes, hear me out here, when it comes to style. I've got a theory that the UK League casters, or casters in general, when they start upping their sort of style, wearing smart suits and things like that, that goes hand in hand with their career. We've seen Nymera. I've described him as Keanu Reeves of UK League of Legends, because he's gone from being this. I don't take offence to this Nymera, sort of geeky looking.
Alex, I hope you do take offence to it.
Us geeks are cool. To this sort of more sophisticated, leather jackets or whatever he's wearing, and the sort of more slick hair. So from you guys following suit, I expect to see you on the bigger stage now.
That'd be fun.
Yeah. And,
I mean, you can't really talk about League of Legends casters and cosplay without asking DocDa about his.
Do tell, please.
Well, I don't follow this at all.
Didn't you dress up for one of the UKLC casts? Was it?
Oh, the UKLC cast. Yeah, no, we did our Halloween. Oh, I forgot about that. I don't even remember why I was on the cast for that.
It's ringing a bell. I'm sure I saw it.
It was the UKLC.
Unfortunately, I definitely saw it.
I don't remember why I was on. Maybe it was Forge of Champions or something. But it was Halloween. We did cosplay. I was Annie. And so it was.
I haven't seen that.
It was a really big, expensive wig from Jake's girlfriend, who's a cosplayer, who brought in like bright pink wig.
Oh, I have seen that. I didn't know it was supposed to be Annie though.
It was Annie because someone, it was Jake or Dan or whoever it was Tibbers, and then I was in like an £8 Primark skirt that didn't do up because it was like I got it from the kids section or something. It was brilliant. I got a picture of it somewhere. It was a banger.
Speaking of content and fun things, one thing that when I think of you, I think of the tweets you put out where it was guess the champion tweets.
I had forgotten all about that until literally this week. Someone asked me about them, and I was going through them, and I was going back through all of the old tweets, and I was like, I wonder if I can remember what I was trying to be. Half the time I couldn't guess what I was trying to be, and then I realised suddenly I went topless in far too many of these.
So for context, GreyHart would do guess the champion little competitions and fun things on Twitter where you would sort of I don't know if you were pretending to be Ramesh, you'd do some forward rolls or something like that. And I like that. And I've noticed as well, talking of esports talent, League of Legends talent in particular, I notice when people get onto the LEC desk, I don't know if this comes from Quickshot or whatever, they seem to up their content game on social media. Nymera doing more things, he's done that funny Postman skit with Goldborg. I know that was part of the LEC stuff, but that seems to happen. So are you conscious of that? Do you ever feel like pressure to do more? Or
I know some casters do. It's something that's being asked of like more of those casters. They hit those like top tiers because it's like at the end of the day, if you're a caster, you're an entertainer, and they like it when people have like a good social following and when they want to do these like TikToks and stuff. It's something that people are like aware of. It is usually asked for by the org. For me personally, it's like a lot of the stuff that we see in these like short form content is like. It's just like, oh, we're going to do like cringe humor or something, or we're going to do like this or that. And it's funny, but it's kind of like quick and easy. And so I'd love it if people were coming out and doing like, just like, the big extra sketches that people are doing, or the one that we did for the Compete League live finals was that got made up like on the spot the morning of, was Ender doing this entire like perfect shot for shot remake alongside Liam of the Daft Play Just the Wise scene. That it started up because we were locked in our Airbnb, because we couldn't get out because there was like some crime scene or something going on outside. So I was like, we can't leave the building. I know ours was fine, but it was like two other guys, one of who had the car, couldn't leave theirs. So we had an extra like 4 hours at home, which devolved into us just throwing random videos onto like the TV, one of which was the Daft Play Just the Wise sketch. And then someone's like, that was funny. Hey, we should do that. And it was like, we got like 3 hours. And it went from being, we should do that, to here's a script, to we have the cameras, we have the studio. and then we got it out that night. It
I
was a
like
banger.
those skits and things like that. I know in the NLC they did. There's a clip, isn't there? NLC out of context. Someone's created a Twitter channel and Nymera and Initialized dancing around to stuff, you know, and I like that. And I need to watch the streams more because, again, shout out to Megalodontus. He's sort of my eyes and ears in a lot of those, as I have a million things on. But yeah, it's anything else you'd like to add? I feel like I could talk for hours, and yet my mind's gone a bit blank.
I think like looking at that content sort of thing, I was just finding it fun, and I know like DocDa would probably be the first person to tell you I'm one of the most cringe like casters out there. Yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, I have producers who will like write into my contracts you're only allowed a finite amount of puns per broadcast. Yeah. I managed to do two. I did 2 in 10 seconds earlier and just left DocDa speechless, and that for me is a highlight. But I love putting out that sort of content, and if I've got something fun, I'll go and do it. You talk about. We don't want to like inflate his ego too much out there, but Nymera, with what he's been doing recently, you know, he's got the whole Death Note thing going on as well, and he's another one who's great at doing content. When I was working with him over the last couple of years, UEMs, NUELs, all sorts of other events, with like the Belong Arena Cups, basically he'd say something like, "Oh, should we do this?" Or I'd be like, "Oh, we can do this," and it was like all those, "Yeah, we'll do it." There's never like, unless there's like something really dodgy, we never shy away from that content, and if there's something out there to absolutely give it a go and have fun with it. What's the worst that can happen? That's
one of the things, isn't it? I think with Esports Talent, and I know this is random, but there's the Confetti Institute in Nottingham Trent Uni doing this paint drying stream, and loads of Esports Talent have just signed up and expressed interest to get involved. But I think that's the good thing about esports. We're up for a bit of a laugh and some silly content. Sometimes you get that on. You know, if you look at sports broadcasting, you'll get like, you know, the more dull, usual stuff like in a Sky Sports studio or BBC studio. But then you get other things like, I forget what it's called now, Soccer AM and other stuff. I forget what it is. I think it's James Corden. He does like a fun sort of like evening show. League of Their Own. That's it, League of Their Own. And it shows that, you know, people like that stuff. I think people don't like it to be too bored in a studio. They like quirky things. Or Gary Lineker, I think, why he's so popular is he cracks silly jokes and has banter with Ian Wright and stuff like that. I know we're going on a tangent here, but people like that stuff, and I think it's more prevalent in esports.
We had a banger. It was like a few months ago. Something someone mentioned just before we came in was the Warwick typing tournament. Which is an absolute that was I think one of my favorite events that I've ever done. Obviously it was a bit inflated coming back from, you know, just off the back of lockdowns. It's very different when you say something funny and like a room full of people laugh, as opposed to just seeing like the occasional like Keck W in chat, which I do love. I love farming a good Keck W, but it did inflate my ego to have like just a crowd of people there. But it was just such a great idea for an event. And what it was is I heard about it, like Jack, Coach Fenton, like tweeted about it, and I messaged him. I said, I don't care what the situation is, you have to get me involved in this. Like, I need to do this. And he said, we weren't going to have it casted. Let's do it. We all went down, we got involved, and it was just some stupid fun event.
I wanted to go there because someone made me do a typing test on the stream recently, and I can't remember what it was, what WPM I got, but I would have gone if it was a bit closer because it was LAN only, and it was a bit too far for me to go, Warwick. But I guess just to end, I'd like to know your main champ and position as well, because I think that tells you about people. I'll start with you, GreyHart.
Can Doc go first, please?
Go on.
Yeah. Well, I'm a jungle man through and through. I think I was known for me Ivan. Once upon a time, I was the highest win rate Ivan main in EU West. No. Admittedly,
what above Matt from who was a sub for M&M?
Just before he got involved.
Right, okay.
I snuck under. Yeah. But mainly the guy that had more wins than me, he had no, I had like 1% higher win rate than him, but he had 1,000 more games than me. He had like double my games. Wow. But I haven't played that for a while. I mean, nowadays I just sort of flex around. I've been getting involved in the Leandri's Misfortune down bot lately. That thing's just fun. You do nothing. You turn your brain off for 20 minutes. You hit one ult and you carried the game.
Leandri's Misfortune. Yeah, so I'm guessing MF is the ADC.
Yeah. So you ADC, you build still like lethality, but but just for your mythic you get Leandri so that your E has a bit of extra poke damage on it. It only works if the poke sticks. If they can heal through it, it's completely useless. But if not, you can get some really good Comet. You go lane bully stuff.
So you guys are higher elo than me. I peaked at gold. I don't have time to play.
Oh no, I do love a good bit of Vi though. I did go on the last time I hit D1 was like 2 years ago or something. But I just 120 games of Vi straight from like plat to diamond 1.
So what's your peak then?
That was like D1.
Oh,
yeah.
well, I'm impressed by that. You know, I'm not that high. What about you, Greg?
No, I'm also not quite that high. But now that I've heard about Ivan, I want to see the 1v1 him against Callum Melvin Izzle. That's a 1v1 I think needs to happen for the caster king Ivan. That's something we've got to do.
I've said what champ you main. It doesn't need to be what champ you main. It can be any champ you enjoy or what role you enjoy.
I said there was no holds barred, open book. I am a dirty Master Yi player, and I will take that elo and take it to the bank.
So you're both, we're three junglers here.
Yeah,
well, that's good.
Absolutely.
Well, I have to say as well, I know we're going on a tangent. I found the jungle to be either I've got older, more of a boomer, but I found it a bit harder. I've preferred mid and support recently.
Vi's in a terrible state right now, so it's not your fault.
And Evelyn, I find, isn't in a good meta. I found it's been a bit more bruisery and a bit more early gaming because she's not great early game.
If you weren't the meta, you'd be up there. Yeah, it would be the.
There you go.
You'd be up in Masters for sure.
You heard it here first. Guys, it's been a great chat. Is there anything else you'd like to add? Anything I might have missed?
Hey, thanks very much for having us on. You do great work, and it's a real privilege to get to share some space with you.
That's very kind. That's very kind. You, Doctor?
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the bell. Get in the Discord for the Esports News UK. That's where I get my headlines. Is I get the notifications on the Discord.
Thank you. Yeah, do you know that's really handy for some people? They ping up, and also you can. This shout out to Elliot, my web dev at RelyWP. He put a thing in where I forget where the button is, somewhere on the Esports News UK website, where you can have alerts that come up. If you're on a desktop on your mobile, it comes up. I didn't even know about this stuff, but apparently we have a few thousand people signed up to that. So.
And remember, if you want to follow Harry on Twitter, it's at DocDaCasts.
You've got to tell us that story now before we end.
It's a good story. Okay. All right. So Fnatic did a viewing party in 2019 for the World's Finals that I went to with Viperoon. We had a great time, and DocDa was hosting. And the night before, we went to go see John's show. One of his comedy. It wasn't Dark Room; it was a normal comedy show. But it was a great time. We went with my sister, and so we go to this viewing party. It's great. I emailed just loads of Fnatic emails like 3 months before this year's Worlds. Or last year's Worlds, saying, hey, I had a great time going to that show. I'd like to host it again because I knew DocDa was busy. And they said, yeah, it's great. I sent a reel as well. I sent footage of me and what I look like. And they said, yeah, that's great. And you did such a good job last time as well. And I was like, okay. And I'm just going to ignore that.
Do I tell them? I don't tell them.
So I ignored it on the first message, but then the second email, when they said it again as we were locking stuff in, I was like, guys, I think just to be clear, I'm not DocDa, I'm DocDa. And they were like, oh, well, it's only 3 days out. I guess it will do. And and I was like, but we had a great time. It was a good event.
Have you ever felt pressure to change your name based on things like that?
I had the name first. Yeah. He was Gosu Dreams when we met.
But what about Medic? Right, if you did make it to LEC in the future, Medic and Doctor.
I did a thing with Wan Yu, their first thing. Yeah. And again, Viperoon put me up to it. And some were point down the line. They're like, who's this guy? He said, oh, his name's DocDa. He's tall. He's British. And they're like, oh, yeah, Medic? I love that guy. And I was like, that's not... I don't know who you think you're getting, but it's...
I heard that story. You might have told me or something like that. But yeah.
I get away with it, yeah.
And on that note, we always like to promote UK sports talent, League of Legends talent on Esports News UK. I know, again, shout out to Megalodontus, who's always trying to interview everyone on the NLC Archerom interview. I've been waiting a while for that, but yeah, hopefully next we'll have Viperoon and Nymera and Initialize next on my list. So we always like to feature you guys, so that if someone Googles you, you're up there on Esports News UK.
You Google DocDa casts, or you Google DocDa, one of the top results is the picture from the Compete League charity thing that you put up. You these are the next top upcoming.
Yes, that was a long time
casters.
ago.
Yeah. It was like top 12 upcoming casters, and one of them's a picture of me.
I need to do that article again at some point. But guys, it's been a pleasure talking to you. Thanks for talking to me. Please follow them both. I'll try and remember to put the links in the description. And I'll see you. Thanks to Aegon by AOC for sending me here. And I'll be back with more Insomnia coverage and League of Legends coverage soon. See you soon.